Hey guys, still here and welcome back to Wargame Brendryen. It's a tactical today, and following that successful flight from the DAP, or also known as the DAP, the M60HL, from a couple days ago, let's see if Red 4 can do it too. It's the same map, same setup, possibly some more sectors, or some, actually no, slightly different sectors, because this is the standard version and not the naval version. It could have fooled me because I'm still used to Wanzen Harbor having the main spawn over here and not over there. Still, no navy means that this whole area of the map is basically wasted. There's just not a whole lot going on there. The only thing that you can do around there is either try to go in with vehicles which are amphibious, so just the vehicles which have amphibious capability, the best of which usually have a speed of 50 kph. Or you can fly in. And that's exactly what Kevin T is going to be doing. Kevin T has an evil plan. He's going to try to land here. Why not? Why not just fly directly into the enemy base? He has his helicopters nicely set up in a triangle formation. We have a Salamander for scouting, a couple of Mi-8Ts for transporting elite infantry, recon infantry, further elite infantry, and, sorry, not elite infantry, but veteran, and one command infantry unit in a helicopter as well. The Mi-2T should be coming in last, and if all goes well, then he might immediately get command over the Alpha sector, which would cut off Blue 4's reinforcement routes, since this is the only one you have. There's no other resupply lines that you can capture. So this thing goes, well, good luck. Alright, helos are going airborne. Try not to fly into those cranes, boy. You might find that your rotor blades don't like those that much. Alright, off we go. Clipping through each other, because why the hell not? In the meanwhile, let's see what the others are up to. We have a couple of very high power infantry groups going middle. And they're supported by Buratino and Pulliam. So there should be really not that much of a problem for Red 4 infantry pushing up. I mean, one Buratino is bad enough, but if you have two, well, I wouldn't really know what could stop two Buratinos infantry-wise. Here's the first salvo of the Pulliam going up. Pulliam capable of firing both the standard HE rounds and the smoke. And they're currently going for the HE salvo. Not getting any hits, unfortunately. Or at least no kills. Now here is once again the flight of the Valkyries. Mi-8Ts are coming in. The Salamandra is spotting targets and dumping some AT missiles on targets. And the butchery begins. Because once again, this team, like the team where the DAP flew in, has no AA defenses set up. So we can spot several command vehicles. There's artillery here. There's a multitude of FOBs that are just up for grabs. And the recon infantry has already hit the ground running. The other infantry is being offloaded. LSTR 40, making sure that the enemy cannot quickly respond with helicopters. And if they do respond with helicopters, they're about to get shot down. And considering that there's a FOB, which already has been captured, there's a better than average chance that these guys can actually resupply and keep themselves going. Recon infantry runs across the first command squad, LSTR engaging as well with 98% accuracy on that STG 943. There goes 100 points. Now it is up for grabs on whatever other CV we can find. Unfortunately, his recon helo went down, which means he is going to be a little challenged for spotting capability, at least mobile spotting. But with his own command infantry in place, Blue 4 is not going to be able to call in any additional aircraft after these guys are evac'd. And this one's bingoed and the other one's evac ordered. So Blue 4 is not going to be calling in any further aircraft. His infantry is getting punished, that's for damn sure, but he's also dishing it out. So the only thing that Blue 4 can now do is try to come back with the vehicles that they have in the field. And with those vehicles try to quickly sweep in, get the command sector back, or at least kill off the enemy command infantry. And hope that they can bring in enough units to quickly counter whatever Red 4 has in here. Mi-8T cannot do anything, but it can spot. It's out of ammo, rocket pods are depleted, it's almost out of hit points as well. And red is very briefly in command of Anna. You can saw that they immediately try to call in units. Unfortunately, this Pikud is still in the way. But if the recon infantry can get there in time before they're going to get countered by, well, let's say a Dornier 205 or even a bunch of transports, then they might be able to call in units. So they move into range, whip out the Dragonov, and they're starting to do damage against the Pikud. They're going to need a couple of shots, and I hope that they have enough time to do that. In the meanwhile, the light infantry here is also trying to help out with their Metis. And there you go, red has command of Anna. Blue is completely devoid of resupply lines, and you can see that they're immediately spawning in units. We have Vihor Hor over here. The names that these guys come up with. I hope that this command infantry can stay safe. Looks like he's moving to the tree line for security. No, he's moving them past the tree lines. Uh-oh. This is bad news. Okay, we have him. Here's all the reinforcements. BTR-7 Jalo could be very handy. Excellent unit to use against those transports. And, of course, to take out a howitzer or two. What you really need right here, right now, is a heavy CV. Because if Blue 4 manages to kill these, and it's not that hard, then you lose the sector again. In the meanwhile, though, Kevin has already done 690 points. And he's not quite done yet. You can see that Blue 4 is coming back home with whatever they can field. It's a bunch of Humvees, we got some transports, there's a Huey, there was a Huey. The mortars are relocating after having been supposedly shot at since they're all panicked. M109A2 is trying to, well, it's not trying for direct fire, but it wasn't that far off. And unfortunately, they do get the kill on the command infantry. And on top of that, Blue has managed to land a command helicopter over here, allowing them to once again recapture the sector, which means that they're about to expect a lot of Blue 4 units in here. There's not that much to defend this newly acquired sector. We have a couple of Motorschützen over here, and MI8T is already moving into position to try and spot them. But fortunately, the command helicopter gets taken down quickly, and Blue is once again completely empty. They got nothing here. Ethan is my name, calls in the Merkava 3B. Dangerous tank, but the Motorschützen can do a lot of damage against them as well. 24 AP versus a frontal armor of 21. He just needs to get into range. The problem that the Motorschützen are going to be facing is that grenade launcher. They did fire, unfortunately missed the target, and now their accuracy is rapidly dropping because they're getting completely shredded by that grenade launcher. They're going to have to fall back, and in the meanwhile the LSTR are taking up position. They are going after the Merkava, doing 8 points of damage to it. And once again, these guys are getting heavily punished, but they do get the kill on the Merkava. And once again, Blue has managed to re-secure this sector. I'm not exactly where the CV is, but I think it might be somewhere in this industrial park here. And if they can move some recon into range, then they might be able to find it. Blue once again tries to bring in units. You can see a Leopard 2A1 moving through the woods. There is an Apache. I guess the Apache missed the memo that there's a bunch of LSTR over here. And that the LSTR are indeed very dangerous at dealing with enemy helicopters. They take out the tank, then proceed to kill off the Apache. And if the recon infantry can move up, then they should be able to spot that command unit fairly quickly. The LSTRs are once again not quite done, shooting down another 70-point aircraft. Another vehicle comes in, 2 M1 Abrams, just the standard variant. The Motorschützen have been healing up, so they should be able to take point, wherein the LSTR do really need to fall back, because they are almost completely devoid of manpower at this point. The MI8T is unfortunately taken down by the VAP 2013. At this point, the LSTR once again tries to go after the tank, kills one. There's Commando Marines as well, and I was just down to one guy over here. And once again, he tries to make a push. Dashes out with one guy, falls back again. Come on, Motorschützen, take up. Yep, they have taken point. But this is quite a bit to chew off for the Motorschützen. 7 versus 10, and Commando Marines are elite infantry, so these are very hard to kill. The LSTR, this one guy, is somehow running around the containers. Running for his life, as you can see him down there. No, he's not quite going to steal a truck, but it kind of looked like it. And fortunately, it seems like the Motorschützen either did win, or it was some sort of sudden death where the Commando Marines might have died. The M60 ERA is really not taking kindly to his own fob being captured, and is trying to take down the fob, which at the moment is the least of their worries. And no, sorry, I was wrong. The Commander Marine are not actually dead, they were just no longer detected. There's 4 of them left, 3 of them left, quickly getting taken down. In the meanwhile, they just chew up a tank. There's another VAB 2013, no, standard VAB. Was a standard VAB. At this point, Kevin T has scored 1,370 points. And there is more to be had, because the light infantry just took out another vehicle. Still a couple of Commander Marines in here. Time for the light infantry to engage. Unfortunately, they can only use their assault rifle, whereas these guys can use their assault rifle and their machine gun. So far, though, these guys seem pretty unfazed about the fact that they're getting engaged by the Commander Marine. Take out the Commander Marine. In the meanwhile, launching another Metis at the Merkava 1. Second missile out, third missile out, and Merkava is dead. 1,485 points. Again, let this be a lesson. Bring AA to your base sector. If you don't do it, then you might find that you no longer have a base sector. And it can be one DAP. It can be a flight of Mi-8Ts which deliver infantry right to your doorstep. It doesn't really matter what the enemy's bringing in, so long as it slips by all your defenses, or just circumvents the defenses like he did in this turn. And with the DAP, again, the DAP pretty much flew a circumnavigational round to Boris, and then decided to go to town on everything. Got fairly lucky there as well. But these games, they really shouldn't be allowed to happen. The only thing that you need over here on this line is just a couple of units of infantry AA, maybe Berjusa, and ideally something that outranges that outranges the Salamandra's HGM, the Kokon M. So 2,800 meters or greater. Infantry AA, come to think of it, probably wouldn't be that good of an idea, because while they might get a couple of shots off, they're immediately going to get hammered by all the rocket pods from the Mi-8Ts, and with that, they will quickly die. So a vehicle might be beneficial to that.